Ciao a tutti, Roberto Ricci from the Development Center of R&D in Castiglione della Pescaia in Italy. Today I would like to go through the medium length Beluga boards. The Beluga boards stands for our wing foiling specialized type of shapes which have been developed over the last 4 years, I would say. An evolution from the original dolphin board, which was our first foil board made for kiteboarding and surfing at the same prone surfing. As the sport has been evolved, we saw the need of especially free riders or people that actually prefer to ride boards in light wind conditions and just kind of flat water, which is ideal for learning how to wing. We understood the need of early takeoff, and therefore we were working on the classic shapes of the Beluga, which were slightly shorter. The classic length of wing foil boards used to be based on 165, 175 centimeters of length for 90 liters, 95 liters type of boards, which is the classic kind of middle range for pretty much everyone. And 65 to 66, 67 centimeter width. That was kind of the bread and butter center measurement for all the wing foil boards. Then we start to go on to the downwind boards with pedals, and we actually saw that by extending the rocker line of the board, extending the length of the board, we could achieve a lot of basic speed while you're not or still falling. You're trying to get some momentum on the chops or on the water surface in general. And but those boards were actually way too long to be used with wings. So obviously the mid-length stands for this type of idea and range. So extending the length of the board and bringing it to an average of 165 to 175, 180 centimeters of length, and reducing slightly the width, you achieve pretty much same feeling of a board which is actually stable under your knees while it's actually easy to water start and to get going, even in choppy water, but at the same time allows you to have a longer water line, basically a longer water line without any steps on the bottom over here. You can see that there's no step in this section over here, so you have a full flat section from 0 to 100 centimeters, almost like the rocker line of a windsurf board, and this allows you to get going at extremely low speed. So when you have, for example, a board that you started to pump with your wing with an average of 10 to 12 knots, this board, just by standing still, actually gets a speed of 1 or 1.5 up to 2 knots faster without pumping the wing. So automatically you have a board which actually, just by not planing conditions or not foiling conditions, just goes slightly faster than the classic Beluga, which is actually what happens on the longer boards, like the narwhal line and boards which are made for downwind rides, etc. So with the medium length, we have achieved the best of both worlds. Slightly longer length of a board with a flatter section, with no step in the back to maximize the early takeoff potential, and at the same time a narrow width, which still is generous enough. And so basically it's a very modern type of approach to wing foiling, to open up the world to easy riding and free ride approach. I personally ride the 85 and the 95 most of the time, the Beluga, which I'm 81 kilograms of weight, and I feel very comfortable with the 85 or the 95. Sometimes I go to the 75 when you have a bit of waves, but that's really the kind of board range which I really love to ride. As you can see, there's only a center line of insert in the middle, so you have to use the V-straps, so to maximize the potential of having the feet always in the center line of the board. The handles, both on the deck and in the bottom, are all mini boxes, so they're really just enough space for 3 fingers, not the whole hand inside, so you minimize the weight of the board. The pads are split in 2 here, so you know exactly where the center line is all the time when you actually you ride without straps or your back foot is over here, we start to pump, you want to look for the center line, automatically you have a reference in the middle, so you can really feel it with your feet directly. Shape-wise, all the boards have a flat bevel from the nose all the way to the tail, slightly sharper on the tail to get you going faster, slightly softer in the front to avoid touchdowns and basically friction and drag while you come down. So that's basically the shape characteristic of the Beluga's ML throughout all the sizes. We have all the volume categories from 75 liters all the way up to 145 liters. And we offer the boards in two different technologies. We have here the LT, which stands for Light Tough Edition. And you have a board which is fully glassed with glass fibers, both on the deck and in the bottom, with a wood standing area. So the boards are really durable. All the boards have a high density extruded EPS nose. So to avoid eventually when you put your board flat on the ground, where you have stones or whatever, even if you punch a little hole here in the first 10 centimeters of the nose, you will always have an EPS core which is extruded, so you will not suck water. And that's really a new feature which we have on all our foil boards. We have 13 inches boxes, 33, 34 centimeters of length of foil boxes. You have a possibility to use a super big size of foils all the way down to 650, 750, 550 front wings, whatever. And you can really start to use it with a very big wing or with a super small wing. So the variety of conditions that you can ride these boards are really phenomenal. As a matter of fact, we developed also another version of the Beluga, which is quite the preferred technology for advanced rider, who people really want to appreciate lighter weight and different type of finishing, of course. We have developed the LTD construction, which is basically just use both for the bottom and for the deck. We use carbon fibers for the bottom and Innegra carbon fibers for the deck. Our technology is based on our experience in making windsurf boards. And through the years, especially with the windsurfing technology, we've been able to understand how the deck of the boards is basically used and abused. And nowadays, our boards are all CNC shaped with a high density EPS core. We rarely use the full sandwich construction, which is not necessary on the foil boards, and we can minimize the weight by using that. But at the same time, it's very important to keep using the right fiber and the right fabrics for the specific use. We have developed this exclusive Innegra carbon biaxial type of fabric. You can see here there's a stripe which goes 45 degrees to the board of carbon. And at the same time, you have Innegra, which is the kind of transparent part over here, which is a very strong type of fiber, which basically replaces Kevlar, which is very UV stable, and has the characteristic of being very hard to be penetrated with a sharp object. So basically, the combination of Innegra and carbon fibers offer the best of the two worlds. So enough stiffness with the carbon, enough lightweight, at the same time very durable, very strong type of construction, which we maximize the use of this type of fibers, as you can see on the deck part. On the bottom, instead, we use biaxial full carbon fabrics, both on the one direction and on the other, of 45 degrees as well. And we use a slightly lighter fabric content. So this is 140 grams, whereas the deck is 150 grams of fiber, so to minimize the content of the resin. And as you can see, basically we use a full matte finishing on the bottom and full polished rails to maximize the beauty and the characteristic of long-lasting finishing on the board. So the LTD is really our prime type of technology. We offer to a limited amount of shops worldwide, and so you can have it on both the Beluga and the Beluga medium length. So these are the shapes that we offer for winging, and we really recommend you to, if you have already a Beluga, to really try the mid-length, because it's definitely a step up in terms of usage and in terms of accessibility. So go to your local shop and enjoy the Beluga medium length.